everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia. Today we're making this beautiful something blue cowl. This cowl is so fabulous. We are using front post and back post double crochets to make this interesting design. This is not a basket weave design, although it looks very similar to a basket weave, and it is so fabulous. I just had a really great time making it. It's almost a mindless project where it's a repeat of just one row, a repeat of row 2. So I had a lot of fun making this cowl, and yeah, it's very, very simple for anybody, a beginner to an advanced crocheter. And we're making one long piece, and then we're seaming this right here. We're sewing this closed to make it an infinity scarf or an infinity cowl. But that's an option that you can change if you want to make it an open scarf. You can add some fringe or do something different with it. But I am just sewing this closed in the end here, and I'll show you how to do that later on in this tutorial. So I'll get into the supplies we need and answer some frequently asked questions, and then we'll get into making this piece. So the yarn we're going to need for this today is Lion brand yarns, and I'm using Scarfy. I used 2 full skeins of this yarn, and this yarn is in 312 yard skeins. So 2 of them would count as 624 yards, so that's how much yarn I used. I actually have just a handful of yarn left over from this project, so not too much left over, so I just said, you know, use 2 full skeins because not a whole lot is left after. And then this is a bulky size yarn, so if you don't want to use the specific Scarfy yarn, you can use any size 5 bulky yarn to make the scarf, and you don't have to use blue. I just named it something blue for obvious reasons. So this specific yarn is called Black and Royal, and that is just kind of the name I came up with, something blue scarf or cowl. So it's really, really pretty. It's really nice, and you can make this as long or as big as you want it to be, and I just used the 2 skeins, and that came out to be pretty large, that can wrap around twice around the neck, and you'll see that in my photos. In the crochet hook I'm using today, this is a size K hook, which is 6.5 millimeters, and this hook I absolutely love. I've been using these quite a bit lately this year. This is an ergonomic handle. It is hand carved, hand designed, and it is really nice to use because it has a bigger handle instead of using just the plain metal hook. It's just really nice to grip on and easy to function and use while I crochet. So I'll put a link in the description of this video where you can get this hook design. It's at the Etsy shop Would Be Fancy, and they have all kinds of different hooks. I use this whole collection here of different sized hooks, and the hook itself is fixed into the handle, so you can't, you know, remove it or anything. It just is really nice to use. So that's the Etsy shop Would Be Fancy, and those are really nice ergonomic hand carved wooden handles to use. You're also going to need a scissors and a yarn needle to cut your yarn and sew in your ends. So those are all the supplies we're going to need today. Now on to a frequently asked question that I get quite often is, what size is this? Well, this is a repeat pattern. It is in the multiple of 3, so you can make this as wide as you want it to be. But this is, let's see here, 9 inches wide, which is about 23 centimeters wide. And like I said, though, it's a multiple of 3, so you can make this wider if you need it to be. And then as for length, mine turned out to be, let's see here, a little stretched out, about 31 inches long, which is about 79 centimeters. So that's how long. Oh, you know what? Actually, it's double that because this is in half. So it's actually 62 inches long. And I don't know, 80, that's like 160, a little less than 160 centimeters. But I'll put all that information in the notes section on my blog, YARNutopia.com, and you will get the written pattern for this along with that video tutorial will be in the blog on YARNutopia.com. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram where you can get the updates on when I post new patterns, and also make sure you subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, I have to say a huge thank you to my dad, Fuad, Azmat, for taking the time to make this video with us. He is our videographer, editor, and photographer for all of our videos here at YARNutopia. So like I said, subscribe to our channel so you can get that update on when he posts our next video. But that's all the information you need for this cowl, so let's just get right into making this beautiful something blue cowl. Alright, let's start out with a slip knot. So put your short end over your long end and then fold this down and then pull that through and pull tight and then insert your hook and we can start. So let's start out with a chain of 35, okay, or any multiple of 3 plus 2. So yarn over, pull through just like that, yarn over and pull through, that's 2. Here's 3. I won't make you watch me do all 35 chains, so just chain 35 or any amount of a multiple of 3 plus 2. Okay, so 33 is a multiple of 3, and then plus 2 is 35. So I'm going to chain 35, and I'll meet you up when I have that many chains. Alright, this is what your chain should look like, just a simple chain. And now we are going to work in the 4th chain from the hook, and we are going to put a double crochet in there. So the loop on the hook does not count as a chain. So count 1, 2, 3, and 4. This 4th chain right there, we are going to work a double crochet in there. But what I usually do is I see my chain like this, and I'm actually going to turn it toward me, and you can see these back ridges on the chain. Okay, I'm going to work in those just for a cleaner edge. Okay, you can work in the top loop if you want, or any loop that you feel comfortable with. So count 1, 2, 3, and 4. This 4th chain right here, we're going to yarn over. We're going to go into that back ridge, just like that. Yarn over and pull through. Then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And then yarn over and pull through those other 2 loops. Okay, that's a double crochet. Now this right here counts as a stitch. Okay, so it looks like a chain up 3, like a 1, 2, 3. So that is going to count as a stitch when we come back for row 2. But on this row, row 1, we are going to just double crochet in each of the chains across. Okay, we'll have a total of 33 stitches at the end of this row. So I'm just going to double crochet into each chain in the back ridge. Like I said though, you can go in any loop that you prefer. Just yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's a double crochet. So we're just double crocheting across this chain. Now if you wanted to, you could have started this whole project with 33 foundation double crochets, and then that would skip the whole chaining method and going back and double crocheting in each stitch or each chain. So that's a different method that you can do, but I'm just demonstrating with the chain and double crocheting across here. So if you're more of a beginner crocheter, this is probably a better option. So I'm just going to do that, double crochet across, and then I'll meet you up for row 2. Alright, I just double crocheted across this chain, so this is what it should look like. A nice, just a nice double crochet row. So now going on to row 2, we are going to chain up 2, 1 and 2, and that does not count as anything, okay? So don't even count that when you're working this pattern. We are going to turn our work around just like this, and we are going to work on this first double crochet right here. We are going to make a front post double crochet around it. So yarn over, and then come all the way to this side of this first double crochet down here, around it to the back side, and then come around the post between this double crochet and this double crochet. Okay, just like that. Then yarn over and pull that through, just like that. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through those other 2 loops. Okay, that's a front post double crochet. Then we're going to front post double crochet around this next double crochet here. So yarn over, go in between these 2 stitches down here, around this next post, just like that. Yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So it's another front post double crochet. Then we want to front post double crochet around this next one here. So yarn over, go around it from the front, around it, the post, just like that. Yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So that's the first 3 stitches. Now the next 3 stitches are going to get a back post double crochet around each one of those. So yarn over, go behind this next stitch, around the front of it, and then back to the back, just like that. Then yarn over, and then pull that through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. That's a back post double crochet. So we're going to do that on these next 2 stitches as well. So yarn over, go from the back of the work around this next post, just like that. Yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, and the next stitch, back post double crochet. Okay, so that's what we're going to repeat then, these 6 stitches. So the next 3 stitches are going to be front post double crochet. So yarn over, go from the front of your work now around this post right here, this next double crochet stitch. Yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and the next 2 stitches also get a front post double crochet. And then the next 3 stitches are going to get a back post double crochet. So yarn over, go from behind your work around that next post and make your back post double crochet. One, 2, and 3. Okay, so we're just going to alternate these stitches across here. You can see the design that's showing up there. The raised stitches. Looks good so far. So we're just going to do that all the way across. So the next 3 stitches get a front post double crochet, and the next 3 stitches after that are going to get a back post double crochet. And we're just going to alternate those. So at the end of this row, you'll have 11 groupings of the 3 stitches. Okay, so if you can see here, these first 3 stitches are grouping, this next 3 stitches are a grouping, these next 3 stitches are a grouping, these next 3 stitches are a grouping, and these ones, and so on. So there's going to be 11 groupings in total. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and so on. So I'm going to work that sequence all the way across this row. If you need to, you can rewind this to see how to do the front and back post double crochet stitches, or you can follow along with the written pattern, but I'm just going to finish this row, and then I'll meet you up for the next row. Alright, finishing row 2, you do want to finish with front post double crochets on these last 3 here. So there's this one here is a front post double crochet. Then the next one is a front post double crochet. And remember before when I told you that this beginning part here, this chain up 3, counts as a stitch, we're going to put our last front post around that. Okay, just like that. And then we can go on to row 3. So chain up 2, 1 and 2, turn your work around, and we're just going to repeat row 2. So now row 2 is a repeat for the rest of this pattern, however long we want to make this scarf. So we are going to front post double crochet on the first 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3. And then the next 3 stitches, they look like front post double crochets here. So we're actually going to make back post stitches on those ones. Back post double crochet stitches. Okay, so if you see a stitch, it looks like a front post stitch, you're going to make a back post stitch on it. Okay, and basically just repeat row 2. Okay, so the first 3 stitches get a front post double crochet on them, the next 3 stitches get a back post double crochet on those, and then the next 3 stitches get a front post double crochet, and so on. So it's very simple, just repeating row 2 for the rest of this pattern for however long you want to make this. Now I'm going to make this using 2 full skeins of this yarn, and I'll let you know how many rows in total I end up making this in the next segment, but I'm just gonna let you go then on your own to make this however long you want yours to be. So you can see here I'm just alternating the 3 stitches. Okay, 3 stitches of front post double crochet, 3 stitches of back post double crochet, and just, yeah, repeat row 2. And that's it. I do want to show you though, when I finish this row, you know what, I'm almost done with it, so just continue watching just row 3 with me, because I do want to show you when you finish the row, not to go around that chain up 2, and I'll show you what I mean, because that doesn't count as anything. So I'll show you in just a moment, just keep watching here. I hope I'm not going too fast for you. It's going just the 3 front post double crochets in a row, and then 3 back post double crochets in a row. So it's a very simple pattern, so I guess that's why I'm going a little faster. And if you need to rewind this to see how I do the stitches, you can definitely rewind or pause this video however you need to. Alright, so now I'm on my last 3 stitches of row 3 here. So we want to end, every row is going to end with a front post double crochet on each of the last 3 stitches. So you can see here, this is a front post double crochet on this stitch, then front post double crochet on this stitch, and now this very last stitch is a stitch, and then this chain up 2. We're going to go around the stitch, okay, and in front of the chain up 2, just like that. So just around the double crochet stitch, okay, and then leave that chain up 2 be, just let it be. So then just make your last stitch there, leave your chain up 2 there, and don't even work in it. Then chain up 2, and now we can go on to row 4. Turn your work around and repeat row 2. So we chained up 2, and we're doing the same concept. Front post double crochet on the first 3 stitches, back post double crochet on the next 3 stitches, and repeat all the way across. So now good luck. I hope you do well, and I will meet you up when I finish using both skeins of yarn, and I'll let you know how many rows in total I end up with. Alright, welcome back. I just finished row 132. So this is what everything looks like. I love the color change in this piece. It is so fabulous. So it took me a little while, but I did just repeat row 2 for this whole pattern and made this very long, large scarf piece. Okay, so this is what it is, what it looks like. Awesome. So now we are going to fasten this off, and there's a few options you have here. So to fasten off, we're going to chain 1 right at the end of the row here, chain 1, and then I'm going to cut my yarn quite long for sewing, and then I'm going to continue to pull that through that chain 1 that we just made, okay? And that fastens that off. You can just pull it tight, just like that. Now, if you wanted to, you don't really have to have a long strand here. You could just cut it short and tie it off and sew in this end and just have a nice scarf with clean edges. You could just have an open scarf. You could also have little fringes. You could attach fringe to the ends of both ends of this scarf if you want to as well. Oopsie. And or you can tie these together. Like what I'm going to do is sew this closed to make a cowl scarf instead. So it's going to be one like an infinity scarf. So I'm going to yarn my needle with that long strand that I just cut, and we're going to take both ends of this cowl. Now if you want to make it a Mobius cowl, you can take your piece here And then we can flip one side like this so that you have this little crisscross kind of flip over, and then you can sew these ends together. If you want it to just be an infinity scarf, make sure there are no twists or anything in the scarf, and just fold it in half and then sew these two ends together. So that is creator's choice. If you want it to be Mobius, have a little twist in it. Otherwise, a regular infinity scarf is just fold this in half, and then we're going to sew this together here. And you can whip stitch it, you can mattress stitch it, you can even single crochet it together if you wanted to. But we're just going to go in one side and out the other side, and then just whip stitch this closed. So then just come back around from this side to this side. Just match up the stitches, whoops, with your needle here. There we go. And just whip stitch this all the way across. And that's what I'm going to do for this cowl here. But you can, like I said, just fasten off, have a regular scarf, you can make fringe on it, you can make it a Mobius cowl, or just do it like how I'm doing it, just a straight up infinity scarf. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm just whip stitching just like this all the way across for all 33 stitches. And then once I have this all sewn up, I'll show you how to fasten off. We'll weave in some ends, and we'll have our beautiful scarf cowl done. Alright, so I just sewed this all up here. You can see the seam right here all the way across. And now we're just going to fasten this off. So when you have your last stitch here, we're just going to go through a couple stitches just wherever your needle fits. Go through and then hold your finger in that loop, okay? And then come back through that loop just like that, and then pull tight. Okay? And then if you want to, you can do it a second time. Just go through, put your finger in the loop, come back through, and there you go, pull tight. And then we just need to sew in this end. So just hide the end underneath some of the stitches, and that goes for all the ends. I used 2 full skeins of this, so when I finished my other skein, I just had to sew in the ends underneath the stitches just to hide it. And you can see here I go back and forth just to make it sure it's secure and it's not going to unravel. There we go. And there it is. This lovely cowl is done. How fabulous. Thank you so much for watching and learning how to make this beautiful cowl. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see your pictures. So if you made this in a specific color or in a different color, please share your photos on Facebook and on Instagram and hashtag YARNutopia. But there it is. The something blue cowl is finished. It'll make a great gift for anybody on any gift giving list. So thanks again for watching, everyone. Happy hooking!